They tell you to just breathe, to stay positive, to let it go. But how do you let go when the weight of the world is pressing down on your chest? Anxiety, stress, overthinking, emotional burnout, it's the new normal. It's the air we breathe in 2025. And yet, over 2,000 years ago, a group of philosophers built a system, a mindset, a way of life that didn't just manage anxiety, it obliterated it. This is the Stoic cure for anxiety, and it might just give you the peace you've been searching for. Welcome to the Philosophy Lab, where ancient wisdom meets modern chaos. Let's begin. Anxiety isn't weakness. It's your mind trying to protect you, to prepare you, to warn you of danger. But in a world filled with constant notifications, 24/7 news, doom scrolling, and information overload, your mind never gets to shut off. Your system is always in red alert. And modern life is breaking ancient wiring. So what do? You go back, not forward. You reach back to what worked before the noise, before the feeds, before fear was monetized. You return to Stoicism. Imagine this, a Roman emperor leading an empire in collapse, plague, betrayal, war, his own people turning against him. And yet, he writes in his journal, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." His name was Marcus Aurelius. His message was simple: control your thoughts or they will control you. Now imagine a man born into slavery, beaten, broken, owned, and yet he says, it's not things that disturb us, but our judgments about them. His name was Epictetus. Then there's Seneca, a wealthy Roman advisor who was ordered to kill himself by the Emperor Nero. On his final day, he calmly comforted his friends and welcomed death. He had practiced it for years. These weren't fantasy characters. They were real men living in chaos. They had every reason to panic, but they didn't. Why? Because they trained for it every single day. The Stoics believe anxiety is not caused by events, but by your thoughts about those events. In 2025, we call it cognitive reframing. The Stoics called it rational judgment. There are only two kinds of things in the world: things you can control and things you cannot. That's it. That's the whole game. You can't control the weather. You can't control your past. You can't control other people's opinions. But you can control your thoughts, your words, your actions, your response. Anxiety comes from trying to control what's outside of your hands. Peace comes from letting go and focusing only on what's within. This brings us to another ancient practice: negative visualization. This may sound strange, but Stoics would imagine the worst-case scenario on purpose. Why? Because once you see that you could survive the worst, you stop fearing it. You fear losing your job, so imagine it. You fear rejection, so face it in your mind. You fear failure? Good. Visualize it. Accept it. Prepare for it. And then it loses its grip on you. Most of us have never trained for difficulty. We avoid pain. We avoid inconvenience. We build comfort bubbles and then wonder why we panic when life pops them. Seneca used to sleep on the floor, walk barefoot, eat plain food. Why? So when true hardship came, it wouldn't break him. He'd been there already, by choice. Today, this might mean taking cold showers, fasting, going a day without your phone, choosing the harder option on purpose. Because mental strength is built like a muscle, under pressure. Marcus Aurelius didn't write his meditations for anyone but himself. They were reminders, reflections, private notes for a public man. Write every day. Not for likes, not for comments, but to clear your mind, to ask, what am I anxious about? Is this within my control? How would a Stoic respond? Put your mind on paper, and you take away its power over you. Now let's talk about death. Not to fear it, but to use it. Memento mori. Remember that you must die. This isn't morbid. It's liberating. You worry about opinions, deadlines, status, perfection, but you forget you're mortal. This moment is fleeting. One day, maybe soon, you won't get another chance. So speak your truth. Face your fear. Live with urgency, not anxiety. because you don't have forever. Let's pause for a moment. Right now, take a breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Slow it down. What are you anxious about? A decision? A conversation? The future? Now ask yourself, is this within my control? Can I act on it right now? If yes, do it. If no, release it. That's Stoicism. That's emotional clarity. That's power. Here's the hard truth. Anxiety is real, but it's not undefeatable. What's missing in most people's lives isn't motivation, it's mental discipline. It's philosophical training. It's the mindset of a warrior. That's what Stoicism offers. It's not about reading quotes, it's about living them. The modern world will not stop to give you peace. You have to build peace inside yourself. You will never control the algorithm. You will never control other people. You will never control uncertainty. But you can control what you practice. You can control what you become.
And you can become a Stoic. Not by name, but by nature. Not in theory, but in action. You'll know you're becoming one when you stop chasing approval. You breathe before you react. You face your fear and say, let it come. That is emotional resilience. That is mental toughness. That is the Stoic mindset. If you've made it this far, it means something in you is ready. Ready to stop being a victim of your thoughts. Ready to stop overthinking every little thing. Ready to stop being a prisoner of anxiety. This is your invitation to train your mind, to build a new identity, rooted in reason, not fear, not tomorrow, not someday, now. So what can you do today? Start a Stoic journal. Practice the dichotomy of control. Embrace voluntary discomfort. Read a page from Marcus Aurelius or Epictetus. And most of all, take one action, without fear. You don't have to become perfect. Just begin the practice, because every breath you waste on fear is a moment of peace you'll never get back. You are not broken. You are not weak. You're just untrained. And now you have the tools. Now you know the path. Now you decide who you'll become. Will you let fear drive your life? Or will you train for peace? This is the Philosophy Lab, and this is your wake-up call. Subscribe now if you're ready to build an unbreakable mind. Comment below. What's your biggest source of anxiety? And how can Stoicism help you face it? And if this video gave you even one breath of clarity, share it with someone who needs it. Your mind is the battlefield. Now train like a warrior, live like a Stoic,